What's up?
Hey, what's up? So, this is our very first podcast ever, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome. My name is Scott, and you're my brother.
Yeah, Adam.
And we thought it would be funny to make a podcast together, and that's what this is.
Funny podcast. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 3, 4. Oh, yes. Hello, teacher.
Mr. Teacher, hello. That's awesome. That story about you in Peru and how the little kids talk to you.
Yeah,
in
little
English.
kids would come up to us, and little kids would come up to me, and they would just like run all around us and be like, "Oh yes, hello, teacher. 1, 2, 1, 2, hello."
Would they say hello like a Chinese person?
No.
They just would spout off the English words that they knew.
Yeah, anything
That's
English.
awesome.
Yeah.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Yes, hello, teacher. Yes.
And didn't everyone think that you were like super rich because you were from America?
Yeah, I got a $10 watch robbed right off my wrist one time when I was getting on a bus. It was crazy. He like jumped on my back and like I fell down on the bus stairs, like climbing up onto the bus, and I feel my arm like being ripped back. And he like pulled it twice, and then all of a sudden my watch was gone, and it was like not even an expensive watch. Like I'd had it for a long time. It had like this like cheap like pleather wristband. And
Wait, is that true? Is that a true story?
yeah,
I'd never heard that. You got robbed in Peru.
yeah, I got the watch stolen literally right off my wrist. Like the guy just ripped my watch right off my wrist.
And was everybody just kind of standing around just checking it out?
Yeah.
They were just like, oh,
Well, no,
another white guy.
No,
getting robbed.
there's a guy. So the transportation system in Peru is a little slightly different than it is here. They have like anybody can just be a bus. So if you have a van, you can just automatically be a bus, and you just drive down the road, and people just kind of stick their hands out like if you're hailing a taxi, and if anyone can just like pull over, and then they open up the van door. And you just get in and give them 25 cents or something, and they'll take you, they have specific routes that they go, and then you just get off when you want to get off. And so they have a driver, and then they have a guy who collects the money and opens and shuts the door, right? So we hailed like a van thing. Guy jumps out, he opens the door, and I'm about to get on, and then, that story happened, and dude ripped my wrist off, and I turn around, and the guy who's like part of the bus service, he's like punching the guy in the back, and he's like trying to get him, but the guy just like shrugs him off and runs across the street, and then he was able to take the man's newspaper, and he like gave it to me. He's like, here. He's like, this was his. See if you can find him from there or something. Like maybe there are some clues in this guy's newspaper that he had.
So it was like that was the trade-off: newspaper for a watch.
That was it.
That guy had your back, though. He was punching that guy for you.
Yeah, he was. And you know what? I want to say that I would have fought back if I knew what was coming, but it was kind of hard because the guy jumped on my back, and I was like face down on the bus, and you know what I mean? Like he was on top of me, and I couldn't really do anything. And then finally, like, I realized what was going on. I mean, all this happened within like 6 seconds, Did
he have you in a rear naked choke?
No. I don't even know what that is. That sounds disturbing.
It's MMA, Ultimate Fighting, UFC.
No.
Rear naked choke.
There was no nudity, and there was no choking going on, thankfully.
Yeah, that would have been weird.
Yeah. That's a different story in Peru.
Well, we have some different segments today, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Of the show. One that if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
I'd like to start with a segment that we haven't really named yet. We'll have to come up with a name for it, but it has to do with stupid criminals, or like this website says, clumsy crooks.
Yeah. Clumsy Crooks. That's a good name.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Clumsy Crooks! That could be the jingle. And then...
Well, can you do it one more time?
Clumsy Crooks!
I like that.
And then maybe put like a little like... back behind that,
Whoa, that the music was way too long for just Clumsy Crooks.
Maybe we could repeat it. Maybe I could say it, then you could say it, and then we both say it. Clumsy Crooks. Clumsy Crooks.
I actually found. Let me look here. I found 3 that I found that I really thought were pretty funny.
Okay.
Clumsy Crooks. According to the Southeast Missourian, this rocket scientist actually sent a sheriff's deputy a text message asking if he'd like to buy some dope. Naturally enough, the dude was interested, that is, in making an arrest.
Oh.
So what they do is they throw in a little joke to make fun of the Clumsy Crook.
Yeah, he was a smart sheriff. Did the sheriff go, like, pretend... Well, first of all, why did he send it to the sheriff? Like, was it an accident?
I bet it was an accident, because I don't think he would do that on purpose. Found 3/4 of a pound of marijuana, along with all sorts of drug paraphernalia.
Wow.
Horman is now facing charges of distribution of a controlled substance and unlawful use of drug paraphernalia. Oh, it was a girl.
Wow.
Amy Horman. Well, I mean, that just kind of goes to show... I hope that people don't find this offensive, but women and technology, not a very good mix.
Wow.
And so, I mean, if you're going to do a drug deal, ladies, have your boyfriend actually send the text.
Wow.
Clumsy Crooks! Let me just share one more.
Okay.
And I'll just tell you what the guy did.
Okay.
So the guy and his girlfriend got into a fight. He got kicked out of her house. He came back. The lady woke up at 7 a.m.
The girlfriend?
The girlfriend woke up at 7 a.m. with her boyfriend shaving her head.
Wow.
In bed.
Yes. I like that.
And it says right at the end, deputies said there were several sections of braided hair lying on the victim's bed.
I guess you could get arrested for trespassing in that case, but are there any formal charges for shaving a head against someone's will?
Yeah, it's like assault and battery.
Assault with an electric razor?
If you don't want your head shaved and somebody does that to you,
yeah,
there's got to be something against that.
Weird web news.
Weird web news.
Weird web news. I read online not too long ago that there was a really pretty serious snake bite in Sacramento. The victim was bit twice, kind of like right on the body, right?
Okay.
And the thing that makes this story so weird is that a man called cops and he said that there's a guy out on his front lawn, like kind of laying down, and it looks like he's been attacked, right? So the officers show up and they realize that this man had actually bit a python twice.
What?
Instead of the snake biting him, he grabbed the snake and he started biting it. And he bit it.
Just to like get it back?
He bit it twice. I don't know. I think it was his pet. Yeah. And he was mad. And the snake like underwent some trauma and like was missing a couple ribs, but they stitched it up and he was fine. And so the man was arrested and he's in jail pending bail, a $10,000 bail.
He's in jail for biting a snake?
Yeah. Unlawfully maiming or mutilating a reptile.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a real thing. You can't do it. You can't bite snakes. Even if they bite you, you know, what's going to happen to them? You can't arrest them.
That's super weird.
Yeah.
That is a weird web story. Weird web
stories.
A man in American Fork, Utah was convicted of murder. Oh, but what's funny is
That doesn't sound very funny.
The guy that he killed used to be a father figure to him. And he murdered him. Oh my gosh.
I think I'm missing something here. That sounds kind of disturbing and sad. I got a would you rather question for you. This actually isn't a would you rather. It's for this much money. For this much money, would you do this?
Okay.
Okay. For $50 million.
Yes. Yep. I'd do
would
it.
would you cut your own arm off?
50 million?
$50 million cash, tax-free, yours, but you have to cut your own arm off. Like, you actually have to cut it off.
Okay, so I get to ask you questions, right?
Yeah. Ask me anything. I know all the details of this scenario.
Okay. So am I cutting it off at the elbow or at the shoulder?
Your choice.
Really?
Yep. At least elbow. It can be
Okay.
right below the elbow, but that's
Okay.
that's the lowest. That's the lowest you can go.
Half of your arm has to be chopped off.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. And I can't have any assistance?
You can't actually have any assistance as far as cutting it off. You have to be the one, I guess either chopping it or cutting it or doing whatever.
And I can use any form of blade. Could I use a chainsaw?
Yep. Chainsaw's acceptable. Yep.
Do I have medical attention at the ready?
You do. Yep.
Am I in a hospital with doctors around me
Yep.
ready to help?
Yep. But they can't step in until the last strand of skin is detached from your arm.
Okay.
They're just watching.
Can they sew my arm back on?
No. Arm will be gone forever. Your natural arm is gone.
No arm.
No arm.
Are there like advances in technology nowadays that allow me to have like a mechanical arm?
I mean, you could get a hook.
I mean, that's not even close to a normal hand.
Take it or leave it. Are you taking this or are you leaving it?
50 mil.
50 mil, cut your arm off. Yep.
I don't think so.
You're
I
not
don't
doing
think
it.
I would do it.
You wouldn't do it.
No. I mean, that's super. Oh, wait. What about this?
Okay.
Do I get to drug up my arm, like, so that I don't really feel it?
You can do whatever you can do on your own. A doctor can't sit there and help you drug your arm up so that you can't feel it.
Yeah, I don't think I'd do it.
You wouldn't do it.
I think that would suck too bad for the rest of my life. No offense to anybody who doesn't have an arm, but that would blow.
I think I might do it.
No way. I think you talk a big game, but
I think
when
I might.
it came down to it,
50 mil is a lot of dough. Think about it. You'd have one really bad day. I mean, like, really bad.
no, your whole life is going to be bad. You don't have an arm.
Yeah, but you got 50 mil in the bank. That's pretty sweet.
I don't think you realize what life would be like without an arm.
I don't think it would be that bad.
It'd be pretty bad.
I don't think so. I still got another arm. Okay, would you rather lose both your arms or both your legs?
Oh, that's... And if I lose my legs, I obviously get a wheelchair.
You do whatever you want, but you're never having legs again.
I don't like this question.
I don't care.
I'd probably lose my arms.
Oh, terrible choice.
Because, I'll tell you
Terrible
why.
choice.
Because I would rather be able to walk than to not walk.
Yeah, but think about it, dude. You could get prosthetic legs and you could walk.
Yeah, but you could get prosthetics arms and you'd have a wife still that can, like, straight up feed you.
First of all, think about how much weight you'd lose just automatically getting both your legs gone. You'd definitely drop at least 10, 15 pounds right there, which is sweet. You could get a nice cushy wheelchair to wheel around the house or around work, and you could still have your arms to do stuff. You know,
I guess
and
if
you
you
could get
throw
prosthetic legs and you
Yeah,
can-
prosthetic legs is pretty solid choice.
50 mil in the bank.
Have you seen that wrestler kid who was like a national champion wrestler
Yeah.
who didn't have any legs?
Exactly. Your center of gravity, dude, is so low. No one could ever beat you in a fight if you had no legs.
Well, I don't know
No
about
one.
that claim.
Batman could come and you'd kill him.
Take it easy. Okay? You know how I feel about Batman.
Yeah.
Okay, what about this? Would you rather never have your favorite dessert again in your
Yeah.
whole life?
Okay.
First of all, what would you say is your favorite dessert?
I got two. Ben & Jerry's Caramel Sutra ice cream and Emmy, my sister's chocolate chip cookies.
So, you can't have either of those.
Okay.
for the rest of your life.
Right.
Or you can have those anytime you want.
Yeah.
But when you eat them, you have to eat a little bit of like poop with it.
Okay. There are definitely some questions attached to this.
Okay.
Number one, whose poop is it? Anyone's poop?
Anyone's poop.
Okay, what's the quantity of poop per serving?
Just like
Pint of Ben & Jerry's, and then I have to eat how much poop?
you have to eat only like a teaspoon.
Teaspoon? That's a lot of poop.
No. Well, a teaspoon. That's it. That's the amount.
Man, I know. I'm saying teaspoon is bigger than you think. You always think a teaspoon's going to be like really tiny, and then you look at it. And
No, I think you're thinking tablespoon.
No, I'm thinking teaspoon. I know how big a tablespoon is. Tablespoon's big. But then you go teaspoon, you're like, oh, this is almost the size of a tablespoon.
No.
It is.
Okay, anyway, that's the amount, and it can be any kind of poop that you want.
Any kind of poop?
Yeah.
Okay. Don't bees poop honey?
I mean, we're going to have to do some research on that. But
I gotta look this up. I think bees eat pollen and poop honey, right? And we eat it? If that's the case, I'm definitely going with that. I'm going with that route.
It's a choice.
Do bees poop honey? Let's see.
Bee poop.
Do bees poop in their honey? That's what's coming up.
There's a YouTube video of a bee pooping.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I would like to see that. Maybe they don't poop honey, but if they did, then I would choose that. If not, that's pretty nasty. No amount of like good food would make me eat a teaspoon of poop every time I had to eat it, or every time I wanted to eat it. No way.
You wouldn't do it?
Never. No. It's not worth it. I could eat another kind of Ben & Jerry's ice cream, or another chocolate chip cookie.
What about a half a teaspoon?
Not even like dip my finger in the poop and lick it off.
Quarter teaspoon?
Okay, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Instead of putting an actual amount of poop, how much poop would you eat in order to satisfy that dessert craving? So
Listen.
what's the most amount of poop you would eat?
So you have to eat the poop at every only when you're going to eat that thing. So you can eat the poop and then you can have as much as that as you want in one sitting.
One sitting, let's say a half an hour.
Okay. I think I would do a teaspoon.
Dude, do yourself a favor when we're done here. Go to your kitchen and get a teaspoon out.
I would do a teaspoon.
And take a teaspoon of peanut butter out and just look at it. And then come back, and we'll come back to this next time.
I think I would do it.
You would not do it.
I think I would. And I think I would do like bird poop.
That's a lot of parakeet poop, man.
Well, I just wanted to give a shout out to our sponsor.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I would call it exactly a sponsor, but Whole Foods.
Whole Foods.
Yeah, Whole Foods. They are, we're in the works of a deal, getting them to be our sponsor for the podcast. I guess if we're being honest, I haven't actually called them yet to ask them about this, but Whole Foods, I think that would be a great sponsor for us.
It would. It would. Our hopeful sponsor today is Whole Foods.
Our hopeful sponsor.
Yeah, this week we'd like to thank Whole Foods for the future sponsors that they probably won't give us.
Yeah, we appreciate that. Okay, until next time.